Hey everyone, so exam season is upon us, and let's be real, biology can sometimes feel like you're trying to learn a whole new language. You get these words like mitosis and meiosis thrown at you, and it can be a total nightmare. But don't you worry, in the next few minutes, we are going to crack this cellular code together.
First up, let's tackle the big one, mitosis and meiosis. They sound almost identical, right? And that is a classic exam trap they hope you'll fall into. It's honestly one of the most common mix-ups for students, but by the end of this, you are going to have it down cold. The trick is just having a simple way of thinking about it. Okay, so here's the trick. I want you to imagine that all the instructions for making, well, your entire genetic code is written down in this giant, ancient family cookbook. Every single recipe for every part of your body. Just keep that one idea in your head, and I promise everything else is going to click into place.
So first, let's talk about mitosis. Using our analogy, imagine your cookbook is getting a little old. Maybe you need to add some new pages, or replace a page that got a spaghetti sauce stain on it. You wouldn't try to rewrite the recipe from memory, would you? Of course not. You'd make a perfect, flawless photocopy. That is mitosis.
So what's the whole point of mitosis? Well, its mission is super straightforward. It just makes exact duplicates. That's it. So whether you're healing from a paper cut or just, growing bigger, your body is using mitosis to turn one original cell into two perfectly identical new cells. And this is absolutely crucial, the number of chromosomes stays exactly the same. It's a perfect copy every single time.
So how does the cell actually pull off this perfect copy? Well, it follows these 5 super precise steps. First step, prophase. This is where our recipes, the chromosomes, kind of bundle up and become visible. Then in metaphase, they all line up right in the middle, super neat, like you're organizing your recipe cards before you start cooking. Next, anaphase. Pop. It pulls the identical copies apart to opposite sides. Telophase then builds a brand new kitchen, or a nucleus, around each new set of recipes. And finally, cytokinesis just splits the whole cell right down the middle. And there you have it. 2 identical cells ready to go.
Okay, so if mitosis is our reliable photocopier, then meiosis is the creative chef. This process isn't about making an exact copy at all. It's all about creating something brand new and unique. So instead of just photocopying one recipe, imagine you're taking that recipe and creating 4 unique variations to share, where each one is a little bit different from the original and from each other.
And this slide just lays it all out, plain and simple. Look at them, side by side. Mitosis makes 2 identical cells, and its whole job is growth and repair. Meiosis, on the other hand, makes 4 unique cells, and its job is reproduction. Mitosis keeps the full cookbook, that's the diploid number of chromosomes, but meiosis chops it in half, creating haploid cells with only half the recipes. One process maintains the body, the other is all about creating the next generation. Totally different jobs. So how in the world does meiosis create all this variation? Well, it has a couple of secret ingredients. The first one is called crossing over. This is where chromosomes get cozy and literally swap bits and pieces of their genetic material. In our cookbook analogy, it's like taking the spice list from your grandma's famous cookie recipe and swapping it with the one from your uncle's recipe. The result? A totally new cookie. Then you add in the second ingredient, independent assortment, where all the recipes get shuffled randomly. Put those 2 together and you basically guarantee that no 2 final cells are ever the same. Okay, hold on. So we've got our cells dividing, right? Mitosis is making perfect copies. Meiosis is creating all these unique variations. But what about the basics? How do these cells get the oxygen and the nutrients and all the other supplies they need to actually do all of this work in the first place? And that leads us perfectly to our final key process, simple diffusion. If you think of cell division as, say, building new rooms onto a house, then diffusion is like the grocery delivery service. It's the thing that keeps the kitchen stocked with everything it needs. It's how all the essential stuff gets in and all the waste gets out.
Now, here's the textbook definition you're going to want for your exam. Diffusion is just the movement of particles from an area where there's a lot of them, a high concentration, to an area where there are fewer of them, a low concentration. It's just a natural evening out process. Seriously, just think about the smell of popcorn. You make it in the kitchen, and pretty soon that smell spreads through the whole house. That's diffusion in action. Now, here is the absolute key fact. The thing you have to remember about diffusion, it's passive. That means the cell doesn't have to spend any energy to make it happen. It just happens all by itself. This is literally how the oxygen you're breathing right now gets from your blood into your cells. And it's how that waste product, carbon dioxide, gets out. It is happening in every single cell in your body right this second, for free.
Okay, deep breath. We have covered a lot of ground here. But now let's pull it all together. Think of this next slide as your ultimate revision tool, your exam cheat sheet. It's everything we've talked about boiled down into one simple, clear summary. And here it is. This is the whole story. Mitosis. Its purpose is growth and repair. It turns one cell into two identical ones. Meiosis. Its purpose is reproduction. It turns one cell into four unique ones. And diffusion. Its purpose is transport. It just moves things from high concentration to low. Honestly, if you can just lock this table in your brain, you are going to be in fantastic shape for your exam.
So, as you head into that exam, I want you to remember this. You've totally got this. And you're not just memorizing a bunch of random vocabulary words. You are learning the fundamental instruction manual for how life itself actually works, how it grows, how it repairs, and how it continues. You can do this.
And I'll just leave you with this one final thought to chew on. Every single second, billions of these tiny, automated processes are happening inside of you, right now, without you ever having to think about it. They literally built you from scratch, and they keep you running every day. So what does that incredible, silent, automatic process tell us about the very nature of life itself? Something to think about. Good luck with your studies.